Good morning, Chris Whelan here from the Center of Business Excellence, Building Better Businesses. I want to talk to you today about something which has really been on a number of people's minds over the last several months, and that is, are we going into an economic winter? That's the one aspect I want to talk about. The other one is issue of procrastination. Why am I saying that? Well, quite simply because many business owners that I've been talking to over the last little while have realized now, not quite too late, but they've realized now, later than they should have, that the best time to plant a tree, you want to sit in the shade, it was 20 years ago, and the next best time is obviously right now. And why am I saying that? Well, because even in the last week, some people that I've been talking to have been saying, we really needed the best systems, we need the best processes, we really need the best testing and measuring to make sure that we can get things done. And we were talking in this case about having a KPI dashboard, because the old adage that you can't manage what you don't measure, the Peter Drucker thing, really is coming true in a couple of these businesses. So the reality is that if they knew at a detailed level, not just talking at a globular level, but at a detailed level, by different geography, because they're in multiple countries, or if in your case, you might be in different stores or different cities, but at a detailed level, what their leads are, how many they convert into customers, how much each customer spends, how often they spend it, what their margins are. By doing that, by having those systems and processes in place, and others, but having those in place, it actually allows them to manage their business. It allows them to see proactively what's going on. And what I've been engaging with them about is the need not to procrastinate is massively essential. And I'll come back to that in a moment. It's not just about can they grow? Can they grow sustainably? Can they increase their revenue? Can they increase their profit? That absolutely is possible, no question of it. But the bigger question that people are asking now is, will they survive this economic winter? And many people, many business owners are expressing a real fear. If that's you, we should have a chat, because there are absolutely ways to do it. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those today. Here's what I know. It's not a question of survive or thrive. It's really a question of both and. It's entirely doable to survive, and it's entirely doable to thrive. And I want to talk to you about how to do that. Now, let's just talk about before we get down to that road, let's talk about the consequences of not taking good systems, not having good processes in place. Firstly, operational overload, or my term, operational overload. People just become overwhelmed with all the things that they've got to do because they haven't got a system that actually runs their business. So that's the first thing. And there's 5 of these that I'm going to talk to you about. 1, operational overload. Number 2, inconsistent quality. If you haven't got good systems and you do it one way today and a different way tomorrow, your consistency goes up and down, your quality goes up and down. 3, you miss growth opportunities, no question of that. Because with good systems, you can scale. Without them, you can't. So you miss growth opportunities. Number 4, and this is at a personal level for the people in the business, the owners, the teams, they run the risk of burnout because they're chasing their tails all the time. They haven't got a systemized way of doing things. So they run the risk of burnout, which is not great for the owners, not great for the staff. And again, ultimately, it's not great for the survival of the business. And number 5, the obvious one, financial strain. Without good systems, without the ability to be consistent, how do they then make decent profit? Right? So the financial strain, all 5 of those massive problems of not having good systems, not having good processes, and then procrastinating, not having planted the proverbial tree 20 years ago. Conversely, though, and this is important, the benefits of taking good action, right, is that you do end up with increased efficiency. No question of that. You get good systems, good processes, you get good efficiency coming out of it. You make sure that your consistency is there, and the consistency is there, your profitability goes up, your quality goes up, your customer satisfaction goes up, which is obviously important. The other thing is, if you've got, I mentioned about the leads and the conversion rate and the number of times people buy, when you have those numbers and when you constantly got them in front of you, you can measure stuff and you can manage them, but you get actionable, what I call actionable insights. With those actionable insights, you know whether to go left or right, you know whether to increase your marketing by how much, which marketing pays, which doesn't work for you. So you have actionable insights, not just, let's just sail in the dark. That doesn't work. Actionable insights. I've mentioned scalability already. I think we can put a tick next to that one. And of course, I've also mentioned improved profitability. So those are good things, right? But you might be listening and say, oh, that makes sense. But how do I do it? How do I get those things? And I want to talk to you about, I think it's 5 or 6. I think it's 6 things I want to talk about. 1, eliminate procrastination. I already said it, right? Don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today. In fact, I'd go one step further than that. Plan tomorrow today. Before you go home tonight, plan tomorrow. Before you go home at the end of the week, plan next week. If you do that right on a daily basis, consistently, you eliminate the procrastination, you'll find that your efficiency builds. So that's number 1. Number two, absolutely, I've said this a couple of times, develop robust systems. The best businesses, globally, the best businesses are the ones that are run by good systems, or great systems, if you like, with good people running them. People run the systems run the business. So develop good, robust systems. Number three, when you need it, prioritize implementation. Right? What do I mean by that? I don't mean just have lists of things. I don't mean have great ideas. Those are all important, but prioritize implementation. Why? Because two things matter: action and completion. Action and completion. So prioritize implementation, action and completion matter. You can have great ideas, but if you don't take action, they're not going anywhere. You can take action, but if you don't finish it, it's not really going anywhere either. So make sure you prioritize implementation. Number four, seek expert guidance. People like myself, it doesn't have to be me, but people like myself who know what they about, know the science, if you like, behind the business. Go to them, get advice, seek counsel, get them to come alongside you and walk that road with you, because that accountability that they provide is what's going to help you to take the action and ensure that you get completion. Number five, within your teams, foster a learning culture. When you have a learning culture, when everyone's involved, right, because they've all got some level of skin in the game, they're all going after a common goal, that level of innovation within your team is going to take you forward. It's going to help you to find the bottlenecks. It's going to help you to eliminate them. It's going to help you actually work on customer-facing challenges that actually, once they're solved, deliver value to your customers. So focus on that innovation all the time. And then number six, diversify your revenue streams. Now that may be, as with one of the clients I mentioned earlier, they've got multiple geographies, so they can look at different ways working in different parts of the world. It might be that you've got different stores. It might mean that you want to change your product and service mix, right? It might mean you want to expand it. Now, I'm not for 1 second advocating that you have thousands of products, but I am saying look at different ways to diversify your revenue stream, right? So let's just recap that. Procrastination is not a good idea. It leads to inconsistency. It leads to delayed opportunities or missed opportunities. If you haven't got good systems, you run the risk of not being able to scale. That obviously, as we've spoken about in terms of quality, in terms of lack of insight, in terms of running in the dark or managing in the dark, you can't do it, right? It doesn't work. If what I've just said to you now resonates with you, feel free to reach out. The link to my calendar is in the below in the description. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to have a chat with you. If I can help you in some way, fantastic. But I'm absolutely, one thing I can guarantee you is that thriving and surviving is entirely possible if you take action, if you complete it. Have a brilliant week. All the very best. Bye-bye.